Hey everyone, welcome to the Captain Drone YouTube channel. My name is Steve and this video is all about the Meteor 75 Pro with the DJI O4 system in it, or this video could be about the Meteor 65 Pro with the DJI O4 system in it. The only difference between those two drones would be the motors and the props. The 65 has smaller motors and smaller props, but essentially it's the same as the 75. Now I've got two drones in my hand. Let me bring them close. This guy right here, the black one, is the PAVO FEMTO. And over here we have the Meteor 75. Now, many weeks ago, I was offered the choice to review one of these, and I picked the Femto because I thought it was the better drone. But since then, many of you have asked me to review this one, the Meteor 75, to see if it's just as good as the Femto. Well, let me tell you the following. The Femto is in a different class. It's trying to be a whoop, but it's trying to be a higher class whoop than a basic whoop. However, if you're looking for a 1S basic whoop, this one's pretty darn good. And the Femto is an outstanding 2S whoop. Different batteries. So obviously 2S power is going to give you way more performance than 1S power because that DJI O4 system is sucking a lot of the voltage out of your battery. So if you're looking for a drone more for indoors and more for casual flying, then you definitely want the Meteor 65 or the Meteor 75. And we're going to take a look at the Meteor 75 in this video. So let me quickly put the specs up here and tell you everything you need to know. First thing is this thing, even with a battery, is a way under 250 grams. Next thing you need to know, it does have the DJI O4 Air camera system in it, and that camera on this whoop is actually movable, so you can move the camera forward straight, or you can move it way up, or someplace in between. That's pretty good on a 1S whoop. Second thing you need to know is that you can record video at 4K 60 frames per second, and that video is recorded and stored in the memory on this little unit, and there's quite a bit of memory. And to get your video files off this little guy and onto your computer, you simply plug in a USB-C cable to the side. You don't even have to power it on. It does everything. It will show up as an external drive on your computer and you just pull the files off. It also has image stabilization so that if you're flipping and flopping and doing all sorts of things, your image will stay nice and true and look like you have a 3-axis gimbal. The only thing the image stabilization does not do is if you have vibrations from the motor and the props like this, it can't stabilize that, and you're going to see that happening in this video. And given that this is the DJI O4 transmission system, you have a little antenna here, and this little antenna theoretically will give you up to 10 kilometers in range. But that's in fantasy land because the battery that you need to use to fly this will never give you that much flight time to get that far and back. Speaking of the battery, I have one on the rear. I'll bring it close. That is the recommended battery. It's a 1-cell battery at 550 milliamp hours. And you can buy this branded battery right off the BETAFPV website. They sell them in bulk, so you get a pretty good deal. Flight time using that battery, if you're flying conservatively, you can get 5 minutes of flight time. But as soon as you start flying erratically in acro mode, you're down to like 3 to 4 minutes of flight time. One of the good things is they did put a 5-volt BEC in here, BEC, so that your DJI O4 system is not sucking all the power and making this fall out of the sky at the last minute. It's a little bit better, so you can get more battery power using the 1S than you would conventionally on a drone that doesn't have such a BEC. For receivers, it only comes in ELRS, and I believe it's ELRS SPI because I had to bind it using Betaflight Configurator. The flight controller in here is tuned to be very smooth. It's a Matrix 1S, and when I flew this indoors and out, it's very smooth. A beginner could fly this, it's that smooth. The motors, they are brushless. I can barely read the numbers on them, but they are 1102 motors at 22,000 kV. And of course, as you can see right here, the props are 3-bladed and they are branded GemFan props. So now what I want to show you next is my indoor flight with this baby, as well as my outdoor flight. And I did encounter Jell-O outdoors, and then I'll show you what BETAFPV says to stop having Jell-O outdoors. Then I'm going to show you another test I did to try to get rid of the Jell-O outdoors, and we'll see if I was successful. All right, time to take the little guy for an indoor flight. I am going to use the recommended 550 milliamp hour LiPo battery 1S. There is an ELRS receiver in mind, so I will be using the Radiomaster Boxer Crush ELRS to control it. And since it is the DJI O4 camera system in it, well, I'm going to use digital goggles, the Goggles 3 by DJI. Now, the flight footage I'm going to show you is going to be recorded out of this camera up front, as well as my goggles, and I'll switch between them. All right, so I'm about to plug in the battery. battery, and there we are. We're plugged in. We have some nice little colors happening, some green, some blue, some purple. And to take off, I am going to take this. I don't know if I'm in focus back here, but this is where it's going to take off from because I'm going this way. So I'm just going to put it on my little table down here and go over this way. All right, baby, here we go. This is going to be a blast. Okay, so I've got a timer on my little radio here set for 4 minutes, and it will count down at 4 minutes. So if we get more than 4 minutes of flight time on this 1S battery, I will be impressed because this little 04 camera system sucks up a lot of power. All right, let me get used to it coming around here at some speed. I'll go over the gates at first, try not to crash into my head. What I'm gonna do is chop up the video so that you don't have to watch 4 or 5 minutes of me flying it. And I'm gonna put how much time has elapsed in the right-hand side of the video. So if you look at the right-hand side of the video, I will show you how much time has gone by as I edit the video and cut in and out of different segments. All right, we're getting close to 1 minute of flight. My counter should tell me 1 minute is almost up. There we go, it said 3 minutes remaining. So that means I've flown for a minute and it's still going powerfully well. If you want to know how it flies extremely smooth. It's very simple to fly. A beginner could fly this, not indoors. A beginner could not fly this indoors. Don't have the skill set, but you could definitely fly it outdoors, no problem. It's very easy to fly.
2 minutes.
And there's 2 minutes. All right, that means I have 2 more minutes to fly until I hit 4. Okay, we should be coming up to 3 minutes of flight time. There we go. It just said 1 minute on my radio. I don't know if you heard that. So I've been flying for just over 3 minutes now. So that's pretty decent, and she's still going strong. I'm looking at the battery, we're at about 3.5 battery voltage, which is not too bad. Normally I would land at about 3.5, but I'm just gonna let it go. That countdown is counting down to a 4 minute flight time, so this is pretty impressive.
22, 21, 20, 19, 18.
And I'm looking at the power voltage, and I'm still at 3.5, so it's good.
12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
So there we go, guys.
Timer 1 elapsed.
That's a 4 minute flight time, and I'm at 3.4. That's pretty much where I'd want to land. So normally I'd let it fall out of the sky. It will fall out of the sky at 3.2, but I'm just going to bring it back to me over here. Wow, that was a hard slam land. That was just over 4 minutes of flight time, and everything seems good. I'm just gonna take the power out. So that means it's pretty decent for on a 1S. There we go, you can see it on my radio. Boxer crush, and it says minus 16 seconds, so I flew for 4 minutes and 16 seconds. So based on the battery voltage and the flight data, you can get to 5 minutes, but once you get to 5 minutes, you're pushing it, you're probably at 3.2 volts around there, and then it's going to fall out of the sky. All right, we're going to do the outdoor flight with this little guy, and once again, I have the 550 1S battery on the bottom, so I should expect safely 4 minutes of flight time. I'll stick it up here on the bed of my Jeep. Well, it is pretty windy out here, so this is going to get bounced around big time. Yeah, it's getting bounced around in the wind, so I'm trying to go full speed here, and it doesn't like it. There we go. I got some Jell-O happening with the wind. BETAFPV tells people how to get rid of Jell-O if you get Jell-O in the video. I could see some in my goggles, but if you get Jell-O, BETAFPV has instructions on how to get rid of it so you don't get Jell-O. I never read the instructions, so I don't know. So what I'll do is I'll pause it right now and put the instructions on the screen. Watch this. Okay, Jell-O. Jell-O in the image is always caused by the motors vibrating or the props vibrating. BETAFPV sent me some information on if you get Jell-O in the image, this is what you do. So down here, I'll show you a picture. I have my little quad. You can see I'm moving it here, my little Meteor 75. You can see my DJI O4 camera up front. It looks pretty good. I don't see any issues with it. So the first thing BETAFPV says, people will get Jell-O if you tighten these little screws on the side here. If they're too tight and pulling the camera into the sides, then the little squishy rubber things that hold this camera in place are going to be too tight and you'll get Jell-O. As you can see on mine, I've got plenty of movement. We're in a warm area indoors here, but it's really good. It moves around. That's nice. You know, the squishy things are not super squished. The next thing BETAFPV says to stop Jell-O is to ensure the cables for the camera don't touch the canopy. So there's my camera. This is the cable they're talking about. See this black one that goes up here? So there's one for the antenna, but there's also one that wraps around. I think it's this one. It wraps all the way over to the camera back here. So you can see the cable up here, this upper one up here. And they're saying this cable here, if this is touching the top of the canopy, then this camera is not going to be able to move properly with the vibrations from the motors and the props. You know, honestly, the cable is pushing to the rear and it might be stopping it a little bit. So there might be some truth in that. It's touching the rear of this. So you'd have to somehow, the cable's too long. They should have put a shorter cable in there. So you'd have to somehow get this cable out of the way. But I tell you, this cable's too long. It wraps all the way this way around and then back down to here. So it will touch the back. Next thing they say is check to make sure those little shock absorbers haven't fallen off. Mine are, this little baby's brand new. If they fell off, I would not have the movement like I have here. So I can tell they're still in place. It's nice and good. Next thing it says, which is very reasonable, they say check your props. Make sure you don't have any dings in them or anything like that, because props are what causes vibrations. It's very true. So I'm looking at all my props here. They look good. You know, they've been used indoors. I've crashed a few times, but I don't see any dings or dents. And if I push down, they're on solid. So I don't see that being the problem. So the only thing I could see that possibly caused the vibrations outside is one of two things. One is that cable going from the VTX all the way down to the flight controller. And the second thing would be that it's very cold outside. And these little guys, when it's cold, the motors vibrate, the props vibrate. You get a lot of vibrations. Let's go back to the rest of my outdoor flight and then come back to me. So those instructions are for getting rid of Jell-O if you have Jell-O in your image when you're flying. And apparently they have those instructions because a lot of customers do. But other than that, if you ignore the Jell-O, well, it's a blast for flying. Let's go back this way. This thing is so small, it goes through everything. Let's go see if I can land it with the wind on my bed of my Jeep. This should be fun. Okay, coming. I'm going to come on an angle. Oh, it's going sideways, but here we go. Here we have the box the Meteor arrives in. Inside the box you'll find the Meteor plus the accessories. The drone arrives fully assembled. Accessories include spare props as well as the spare camera grommets and spare screws. You also receive a USB-C connector so you can plug the drone into Betaflight Configurator. A product support card is included. BETAFPV also sent me 2 spare replacement frames just to show you that if you break your frame you can get a replacement. They also sent me 1 package of their lava batteries just in case you wanted to get some off the website. And for charging those 1S batteries that are high voltage, they do offer their special charger that comes complete with a power supply. Total weight of the Meteor 75 Pro with the DJI O4 camera and a battery is only 52 grams. Alright, so you're back to me and I just want to say that the indoor flight, did you notice there was no Jell-O? It was warm in the house, flew around the house, no Jell-O. But when I went outside, I got Jell-O. So when I came back from my flying experience, I was thinking about that and thinking, I wonder if it's just the cold. So then I tried it running from indoors when it was really warm to outdoors and flying it to see if there was a difference. So check this out. So what I want to do now is check and see if the Jell-O that was happening when I was flying outside was caused by the cold weather. This has been indoors for a while, so it's at room temperature, so it's nice and warm. I do have some batteries charging down here. So I'm going to take one of those. I'm going to grab all my gear and I'm going to run outside and fly this. And hopefully I get it in the air before it freezes up and I get no Jell-O. So if I fly it and there's no Jell-O because it's warm, then we know that's the issue. Well, let's go try it. All right, heading outside. Let's do this quickly. It's kind of cold out here. I don't even have a jacket on, but I'm just doing this for science and, you know, just seeing if this is actually the problem. So let's go over here really quick. Got my little drone here. All right, plug this guy in. It's working. I'm just going to plop you down here and put on the goggles. There we go. And now I've hit all the buttons. Hang on. There we go. And I think we're good. Here's the truth. Let's see, I'm gonna try different speeds. So let's see if I get Jell-O at a slow speed here. Sometimes the slower you go, the more Jell-O you get. So there's slow, yeah, it's starting to freeze up now. A little bit more Jell-O, a little faster. Oh, let's crank it. There we go, there's fast speed. Any Jell-O? Probably less Jell-O when you're going fast because the props are just cranking it. But here, let's go. Here's my world up here. And going around and around and around and around. There we are. So when I go super fast, there's no Jell-O. If I take the throttle off like this, no throttle, there's no Jell-O. So the Jell-O is caused by the blade spinning. See, it seems okay now. I'm not really sure. There, no throttle. She's just falling out of the sky and then back on. Now the rubber's starting to freeze up because it's getting to the temperature of outdoors. So we're gonna have more Jell-O. So I'm just gonna bring it back and land it here. Let's go over here. I'll land right in front of my camera, right by my feet. I'll land on my feet. So you saw there was some benefit to having this being warm when flying, and it's truthful. If you live in Florida, you probably won't get vibrations because not only will the rubber be perfect, but that cable we spoke of earlier that goes from the camera all the way down to the flight controller, well, it's on a weird angle when you buy the quad, and if it's touching the back and it's frozen solid, it's not going to leave any room for your camera to move up and down in relation to the prop vibrations and the motor vibrations. So you will get Jell-O. So now that I know all this, I have the cable and I've pushed it over to this side. I see if I could show you. Right here. See this cable? This cable here? I have it coming out the side now. Before, when you buy this quad, it pushes on the back. So I would suggest when you buy this quad, take this cable and just push it to the side, especially if you live in a cold environment. All right, let me give you my positives and negatives. Let's start off with a negative. Well, obviously the negative is going to be that there's Jell-O in this thing, but you can remove the Jell-O just by doing the fixes I told you in this video. Then it should all be gone. I would assume, because I do have other drones with the same camera system using the same sort of vibration and dampening system like on the Femto here, which also suffered from the same problem. And when it was out in the cold weather, it didn't work, but when I warmed it up, it worked perfectly. So I'm saying cold weather affects the brushless motors, the props, the flight controller, and anything that's rubber inside that has to be very, very, very nice and warm and manuable. Well, it all freezes up like the cables and everything else like that. So you should be fine. So that's the only negative I have. Other than that, I would say this is a perfect whoop. So you get good flight time, you don't kill anything, you don't have your O4 system sucking all the power. It's pretty darn good. But more importantly than all of that, it's a very smooth flying drone. This would be a drone I would easily recommend to a beginner, because if you're a beginner and you're very nervous about flying FPV quads and you're not very good at it, you could probably fly this without crashing it because it's very forgiving. It's very smooth. It stays true in the air. Just don't move your joysticks too much and you'll be okay. And the last thing I want to say is you can actually buy this without the whole DJI O4 system, and it only costs like $79 US if you buy it that way. You get everything else except for the DJI O4 camera system. So that means you might already own the DJI O4 camera system in another drone, and you've pulled it out or you destroyed that drone and you want to stick it in here. So for 79 bucks, you can get a nice whoop that will fly with it, or you can put some other camera system in it. So with all that said, I'll put a link to this baby below, as well as the 65 version of this, and I'll put a link to the Femto, and I'll put a link to my review of the Femto. So if you have any questions on this little guy, post your questions below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you in a future video with many cool product reviews. Until then, I say bye!